Asylum cases, they are now, the judges have the ability, with a memo that came out, it's called PM 2528, that the judges have the ability, and a new change that the Trump administration did, that they can now decide a case, deny a case, specifically the ones that are based on asylum, for having an insufficient claim on asylum. Basically, anybody who didn't completely fill out the form, people who filed the form with USCIS previously, or they filed it with a notary and it was incomplete, or they have an insufficient legal basis to file an asylum. Those cases can be pre-terminated by a judge, which means the judge decides it before they get the final interview, before they get a final hearing, before reviewing any of the evidence. Okay, so this is a big deal, because there's people who've been waiting in immigration court for maybe 10 years to get a final interview, and before they get to that final interview, that final merits hearing with the judge, their case can be terminated. The case can be denied. Okay, so if you have an asylum case pending, whether it was referred to court because you filed with USCIS, or for any reason you're in immigration court now and you're filing only in asylum, specifically asylum cases, this memo had to do with asylum, you need to make sure that you have a legally sufficient asylum case. So if you filed the case previously, maybe you wanted to make sure that you met that 1 year deadline, right? Then you need to go review the package that you sent and see what can you send to make your asylum case stronger. What kind of evidence can you supply to the court now? And do you need to amend your asylum application to make it legally sufficient? Okay, we're doing that on our client cases that we realize that maybe they left out the letter from their uncle, and the whole case was about how their uncle was a political leader. We need that letter from the uncle to make this case a viable case. So we need to get that up. We need to get the uncle's letter. We need to also supply the court a legal basis. So we're also sending legal arguments on why these people qualify. The reason, to make sure that they don't get pre-terminated before they even get their final court hearing. Okay.